know them, you love them, sometimes you have them. OCs. Now, if you don't know what an OC is, it stands for Original Character. An OC artist can have totally original universes to put them in, with completely original characters. But some of us make OCs for a show or a book we like. Either way, having an OC is almost a rite of passage for a young artist. And today I invited some friends to come and talk about their OCs, and give some tips about making them.
Hello, I'm Lex or Lurking Doll on YouTube, and I've been creating OCs for a very long time. Basically, as long as I've been an artist. From fandom OCs to OCs for original stories, OCs are something every artist has at least one of. Hell, you could even count your Sona as an OC. I've had a lot of OCs come and go, yet there's always been one OC I always come back to, even if I've taken breaks from drawing her. If you're familiar with me or my channel, you may know exactly who I'm talking about. Sunny Saplin, the OC I created as an edgy 12-year-old who's just too precious for me to get rid of. It started out as a simple practice doodle. I just wanted to draw but was growing bored of my old OCs, so I came up with her first design. Very basic, just a yellow cat girl with one eye covered by a swirl of hair. Something about her design just stuck with me. Probably how easy she was to draw. I kept drawing her, changing up details of her appearance, personality, and life. Her original design was so simple that she eventually just became my go-to OC to draw. Even if the story I had for her back then was just last-minute, random details to fit into whatever animation I was drawing her in. That led to my main mistake. I fell in love with drawing this OC, yet hated her story and how simple she looked compared to my more modern OCs. Her backstory was basically just me making stuff up on the spot like some dragged out yes and improv skit. It was a lot of fun at the time, especially since she became my younger self's main creative outlet for testing out all sorts of story concepts, but it's what led to me eventually abandoning her. The idea of going back and reworking her just sounded like too much to me. Too hard when I could just make a new OC and start from scratch. Which leads to my main tip for OC creation. It's never too late to fix mistakes with your OC. If you don't like something about them, whether it's their design, personality, backstory, relationship, whatever, you can always go back and change it. For almost all of you watching, your OC is not part of some contracted movie script that's too late to change. You can make as many changes and reworks as you want, regardless of how extreme. If you're getting bored of your OC, take a break to sit down and really think of what you want to do with this OC. You don't need some perfectly thought out plan that will end in your own show or movie either. Just make your OC into something you genuinely enjoy drawing. You can change the OC so much it feels like a whole new OC if you care to, whatever ignites your creative passion. Take Sunny for example. While I've maintained a lot of the main spirit of her original design, being rather simplistic compared to some of my other OCs, her body type, coloring, story, and personality are completely different from her first design. Even her fur color that seems the same is a cooler shade of yellow to fit in with the cooler color scheme I've switched her to. She used to be mostly shades of reds, yellows, and oranges. This is the first time in her history that I've made this big of a change in her design, as even in previous changes throughout her history, I've always stuck very close to her original color scheme and appearance. Yet, I'm really happy with these changes and how this new design of her has turned out. When making an OC, your imagination is your only limit, so use that to your advantage.
Hi, I'm Claire from the channel Claire Actually Draws on YouTube. Ever since I started drawing seriously back in 2017, it didn't take me long to want to design my very own original character. And in 2018, my very first OC, Grenda, was created. To be honest, I wasn't as creative as I am now that I'm older, so Grenda's design is actually quite plain and simple. An 18-year-old girl wearing a blue dress with a blue shawl with pink cat headphones. She has yellow wolf-like eyes and a simple braid. I don't know how I came up with the color combinations, I just really like pink cat headphones and blue was my favorite color. In Grenda's AU, humans are one of the weakest creatures. Coexisting with other dangerous beings like monsters puts them at constant risk of danger. During a brutal attack at her home village, her parents abandoned and left her to die. She was abused and neglected as an infant due to her unique feature, her yellow eyes. Her parents thought they birthed a monster. She was then later saved by wolves and brought to the Queen of Wolves, Nyx. Nyx was pregnant with her first pup, which she named Myoyin. She then decided to seal the spirit of Myoyin in baby Grenda. Nyx believed that this was Grenda's fate. Her yellow wolf-like eyes meant that she was meant to be part of their pack. She was the chosen one. But the wolves and the queen, Nyx, have absolutely no idea on how to raise a human child, so when Grenda turned 2, they decided to let their human healer, Glenn, take her under his wing. Glenn took Grenda in and raised her like his own daughter, giving her a name that resembles his own, teaching her all kinds of herbs you could find in the forest to help others. For her 15th birthday, Glenn gave Grenda a pair of pink cat headphones because once she puts them on, it'll look like she has wolf ears. Unfortunately, Glenn passed away that same year when he's out hunting for herbs. Something attacked him, nobody knows what, which made Grenda her life mission to protect humans. Along her 3 little fox friends, Gedo, Gero, and Gecko, who were assigned by Nyx to accompany Grenda for the rest of her life. If you're drawing OCs constantly like for a comic, video, animation, one tip I'd like to share is keep your OC designs simple. Simple OC designs let you focus on storytelling instead of the little details of your character. If you're a perfectionist like me, this tip is really useful. You wouldn't want to view every single panel or frame that your OC is present in as a chore, right? Also, simpler features of your OC's design are also easier to keep consistent. I personally would always ask myself, can I draw this character 1,000 times and not hate myself? If my answer is yes, then to me, it's like already making a decision that reduces stress for future me when drawing my OC. With that said, the word simple is very subjective. OC designs can be simple, yet still have distinctive features that people can easily recognize. So test your limits and let your creativity flow.
Hey skis, I'm Life of Lee. Making OCs has been such an integral part of my life, and as of recently, I've been working on a side project within my OC's world. So, this is Charlie, my loser of an OC. His whole story basically revolves around the fact that he can't find a meaningful way to fit in with others. Since he's a new OC, there's been many things that I've had to touch up with him, starting off with his design. I had no clue where I was going, but I knew from the beginning I wanted him to be someone that could be easily picked on. So I went for a kind of cute, small, not thought behind those eyes kind of look, but as I developed his story, he didn't feel like he looked like this, so I took some time to really think who Charlie was. I tend to reflect design through traits occasionally. I wanted him to be weird looking more so than weak. He's a loser, but he gets that title because he's an oddity. I decided on this design: green, slightly unkept hair, piercing red eyes, and ptosis, which is his droopy left eyelid, and a questionable sense of style. His body language is typically reserved and he keeps to himself. I started to build more things off of him when his design was settled, since it was almost like I could imagine him in his story. For example, growing up, he wasn't bullied or picked on. Instead, he wasn't acknowledged at all. Not a single person saw him. It was like he was invisible. Too unusual for anyone. He didn't grow with much confidence, so he did the bare minimum in absolutely everything. Then came the details to these facts. For example, I can imagine his mother never had anything special to say about him while talking to her friends, since he lacks achievement. The same overused line of Charlie being cute as a baby not ringing the same as time passes. I've also thought of him having a sketchbook or diary and being a little bit of a failed artist, spending loads of time on his pieces, but never truly making anything meaningful. Or maybe the fact that because he's so unseen, it's common for people to bump into him, talk about him while he's present, or exclude him. Or the fact that Charlie's yearning for someone to care about him, to fit in somewhere that matters. In any case, taking the time to really fill in these importances has assisted greatly in his development, and I'm only more and more excited to see where this questionable puzzle piece that Charlie is gonna fit in. So it's safe to say, when creating a character, never feel restricted. Branch out their designs, give them reasons for the way they feel, and incorporate everything however you like. But most importantly, have fun. Thank you so much, Silly, for letting me in on this collab, and I hope you all have an amazing day.
Now these are some beautiful OCs, but now it's my turn. Meet my OC, Sunny Star Scout. Sunny's concept is that he is a magical boy born from a shooting star. He's very oblivious and overall a bit clueless when it comes to most situations, including battles. But it's not his fault, especially considering he had no one to guide him, no matter how much he tried. He's overall just trying his best to find what he was made of, how he was made, and why he was made. When I was designing him and his magical boy form, it was very important for me to emphasize his starriness, along with his overall lack of belonging to his role. So you can see it in his colors, along with the fact that his clothes are a tad bit too big on him in his civilian form, and massively too big on him in his magical boy form. My best tip for character design is to plan it out with simple colored sketches, mostly emphasizing shape language and motifs before you get into the tiny details, so you won't get distracted drawing all of them while trying to design. You're just trying to build the design from scratch, don't go into too much detail. Make it exist first, make it good later. Making OCs is so incredibly fun, and each one is unique in its own way, so if you take anything from this video, is to go and make your own OCs. Be as creative as you want, the world is your canvas, come on, I encourage you! It's gonna be great. No matter what, it's gonna be good, because it's your OC. It can be the most edgy 12-year-old OC for all I care, but it's yours, so it's special. Go and make it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for the wonderful artists that helped me make this video and participated and shared their experience. Your art is absolutely incredible. This video was a long time coming, and it may have a part 2 just talking about fandom OCs, because boy do I have some. I have some more things to share. Do you guys have any OCs? Do share in the comments. I am really excited to see what you guys have to say about this video. It was truly incredible making it. Thank you guys so much.